Nina Arya is playing BBC Introducing at 3:30 on Sunday at Glastonbury, and she's joined us today. Hi, Nina.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Should we chat about Glastonbury?
Yes, let's do it.
So, Nina, where were you when you got the call that you were doing Glastonbury?
So I didn't actually get a call. I got an email, a really covert email that I was being sent to Birmingham for this weird little new pilot that the Asian network were trying. They were like, travel 3 hours and we'll do a 30-minute segment and it'll be great. And I was like, okay, do you know what? I feel like I can do that. That's fine. I love the Asian network. The producers are wonderful. It's great. But I had a sneaky suspicion something else was going on. I was like, this is really sus. It's the radio. Why do they need to see me in person? We just do everything over the phone. That's what happens. And then got there and they told me in a recorded segment they were doing. So yeah. And it was incredible. It was really cool.
Does that mean that your reaction has been recorded somewhere?
Yes, it is actually on social media. I was really concerned because I blacked out for the whole thing. So I had no idea what my reaction was. So yeah, it was all recorded. But yeah, they got me to play this little game live on air. It was really cute. I pulled some things out of a bag. They were like, guess where you're going? And then, and they told me.
What you picked out the bag, would that have determined where you were playing? You pulled it out and you're playing the Working Men's Club in Dudley. You're like, oh, damn it.
You got the pub down the road, damn. No, not quite, but imagine.
Imagine you pull out an Uno reverse card and you're like, what does this mean?
That's really cryptic. Well, for the other guy that they did the same sort of game, because the other person that's playing from the Asian network is a really talented singer called Deeps, and he pulled out a glass with a bunch of berries in the bottom of it, which I would never have got in a million years. That I wouldn't have twigged what that was, but glass 10 berries. So that was the glass.
Oh
Genius.
My God, that is unreal.
But I just wouldn't have. So thank God they made mine easy. Mine was a little pyramid. So I was
yeah, I would have been cream fields. Am I going to, I don't know, berries? I don't know.
honestly.
Yeah, that definitely would have stumped me.
yeah, honestly.
I feel like our production value needs to go up a level now to compete with the BBC.
It really does. Yeah.
We need some fruit and crockery, and then people say, and somehow this links to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Just play really confusing games with all your guests. That's how you do it.
Well, our most confusing game is Festival Dickhead.
Yeah.
But we can't do that because you're playing Glastonbury next week.
I know. Next week.
That's so soon. Are you excited?
I'm really, really excited. I think it probably hasn't dawned on me yet because I feel it just feels so, physically distance-wise far away because I'm from Ipswich, so it's a good 5-hour journey. And then I think the thought that I'm playing Glastonbury in itself, I'm I just hasn't quite computed yet, but yeah.
Have you been to the festival?
Never.
Oh, so it's
my God.
So many firsts.
Brand new. Yeah.
Imagine your first ever year, Bill, being the year you're playing. That would, honestly, that's amazing.
I'm excitable anyway, but I would be so starry-eyed every twist and turn because I'm sure they'll take you to the cool little backstage bits as well. They'll probably have a little green room.
I like to think so. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I've been given a map, a very badly photocopied map, which doesn't really show you a hell of a lot, but just the sheer size of the place, I'm looking at it oh my God, there's so much to see, so many places to go. So I need to figure it all out. But any tips and advice, let me know because it's going to be a minefield.
I think pace yourself because, as you've said, it is a big site. You're gonna. I think the first year I ever went, the first day alone, I did 60,000 steps, and it's a lot of steps.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. That's insane.
How the fuck can you behave when you're playing Sunday, right? You've got this pressure where you want to party at a festival, but you're on the last day.
Yeah, I know. I've got to really strategically plan this. If I want to get hammered, it's got to be on the Friday night. And then I've got to sober up well enough to be okay on the Saturday. and then, somehow make it through.
And nobody plays it cool on their first Glastonbury. I think you need to get it moved to Friday so you can cut loose.
I need to touch down at Glastonbury, sing straight off the bat on the Thursday morning. Fuck it, why not? And then from that point onwards, I can have a great time. Well, yeah.
Just demand to go on stage. Be like, I'm going on. I don't care what you say. I'm going on right now.
Look, you put me on Glastonbury. That's it.
3:30 is a good slot, right? Because you've got everyone who's gotten out of their tents. They're going to be heading around the festival. BBC Introducing always pulls good crowds as well.
That's good to know.
What kind of crowds do you normally play to? Is it festivals? Do you normally play your own gigs? How's it different?
To be honest, I've not been gigging so much as of late because I've been focusing on an EP that I'm writing. So I've not really been doing as much gigging. So actually, this is only going to be my third show of the year, I think. So it's been a pretty quiet year for it all. But I think in general, the sort of shows I play, I mean, it's so varied. I think I'm still finding my feet with my audience. So it's always very varied. I did Reading and Leeds last year, and that was incredible. But yeah, I guess festivals, you never really know. You never really know what your audience is going to be like. It's just, you have to just kind of wing it, hope people turn up, and then, yeah.
You're writing songs for a new EP, and are your fans going to hear some of those new songs?
Yeah, all of them. All of the new songs.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I know. We're really excited.
What's the vibe like? What's your feeling before you play something that nobody's ever heard before? Is it like terrifying? Are you just excited? Like how do you feel? I think it's pure excitement, because I think when you've got like new stuff you want to release, I don't know about, well, I've heard it from other artists kind of say this same sort of thing. Like I listen to my own songs kind of on repeat before they get released because I'm so excited about them, and I'm so like, oh, I can't wait to get this out to the world. So I'm just kind of listening to them, and like, I think that feeling is the same on stage. Like, just so excited for it all. So yeah, it should be. I mean, hopefully people will really love them. It's a little bit more of a different route for me. It's very much down the kind of soulful R&B route as opposed to the maybe, I don't know, slightly harder stuff I was making before. So yeah, very chill, nice Sunday afternoon music, I think. That's exciting. Yeah, it sounds like the perfect kind of, you've had a lazy get up, you've probably got some food, you've probably got a pint, and you're ready to kind of sit back and listen to some good music. Honestly, I can picture myself there.
Yeah, I hope so.
One of the songs that caught my attention was All I Need. I think it's beautiful. Have you got some time? Can you stay with us after the jingle and chat to us about songwriting?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, just going to shout at my housemates to get off the Wi-Fi because I feel like I can see it lagging, and I'm like, I think there's too many people on it. So let me just.
Guys, I'm on the 11th most popular music podcast in the country. Don't you know?
Guys, they're so important right now.
and also, marginally, people do listen in Ireland too. Right?
Hey, I've got family in Ireland. You'll have more Irish listeners.
So you've just been writing a new EP, or you've got a series of new stuff. What is your songwriting process? How long does it normally take you? Kind of, how do you just begin to sit down and write a song?
Do you know, and I know it's a real cop-out answer, but it varies every time. It really does. So it can be that like I'm really liking one genre or style at the moment, and I want to kind of make something in that style, or I hear a certain vocalist and it inspires me to write a certain melody. It really varies, but I think the slight ADHD in me needs to be quite like hyper focused. So I'll sit down and I'll just I'll do it in a day or two. Like I'll just get it out. And I think it needs to be like that for me, because if I write and then sit on a song and then wait weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, I just will never finish it. So yeah, my process is always quite quick. And I mean, when I'm actually in the studio, if I'm with producers or other writers, it just happens so quickly, like a few hours, and we're sort of like done with the song. So yeah, it's a good process, but it is very different every time.
What's the most unusual place like a melody or lyrics have come to you?
Unusual place? I was going to say a shower, but I feel like that's not that unusual. I think probably that happens to a lot of people, because you're kind of thinking in the shower, you know?
I feel like I have all my deepest thoughts in the shower.
I do my best singing in the shower.
Exactly.
But let's not compare because they are very different levels here.
I think sometimes, this isn't unusual, but sometimes after I've seen another person's gig or like been to a concert, when I'm leaving, I'll be like, oh, I'm just so excited and I've got all these ideas for lyrics and I have to just get my phone out and write them down. I don't know if it's an unusual thing.
So do you find that lyrics usually come to you quicker, or do you find that you get melodies? Like what do you normally start with?
My answers feel like that's going to be so boring because honestly, like both and or either. It really, like, I think so. For example, I use the way I make my beats. My very non-producery beats, because I'm not a producer, but I take samples and I kind of put them together to sketch out projects and ideas, and then I use that as my basis to write my melody and lyrics, and then I'll take it to a producer and they'll like flesh out the project. So the way that I wrote, I think, at least a couple of the tracks in the EP probably just started with like a simple guitar sample, and then kind of lyrics and melody kind of come at the same time. I'll be recording and I'll record some kind of like mumbles and melody, and then I'll put like a few words and then just keep sort of going along the process, and they kind of come at the same time. So it's a strange I feel like it does just come. Like I don't really know how to describe it other than it's just in my brain and it just comes out of my mouth, and that's how it happens.
You're a new artist, you're an independent artist. How do you get that into the studio and turned into a song then? Because the production value is phenomenal, right? And that can't be easy for an independent artist either. Well,
I think the thing is that where you've got independent artists, you've also got a lot of independent producers that are really, really incredible at what they do, and have a lot of really high-end equipment, and they're just producing from their bedroom. And it's like, because I completely agree, like the production value is, not to toot my own trumpet, but it is great because the producers I've got around me have spent so long like crafting their skill, honing in what they do. Like they've dedicated a lot of time and energy and money to what they do. So they're in a position where they can make really good quality stuff. And they kind of know me well enough now to know my sound and know what I'm going to like and not like. So it just kind of works.
I mean, you've collaborated with some cool artists as well. And without any prompt, I'd say maybe Native James you've collaborated with, who's also... The giggles totally give this away. And he's also playing BBC Introducing.
Yeah.
Is there a chance of maybe secret set guest appearance? Or can you not say?
I would love to, but I think this time probably not, just because, so me and Native James both from Ipswich. We're two sort of homegrown artists that have managed to get to this Glastonbury point, which is really cool. And we're obviously like really proud to both be from Ipswich and be playing the festival. But we started off making similar music. It was, I think the track with him was the second track I ever put out. And then we kind of just went in our own directions. And, he's making quite like heavy rock now, and I'm doing, obviously I've moved much more towards soul and R&B, whereas I was doing like a little bit of drum and bass and other things. But I think our sounds are probably a little bit too far apart at this point. So, but you know what? I'll definitely be at his show, and I know he'll be at mine. So we'll be supporting each other regardless. So it'll be good vibes all around.
Do you have like a group of peers who, like, you see them play a slightly bigger venue and then you're supporting them maybe in reverse and you're working your way up the ladder? Or is it quite a solo thing?
I think it is. I think it is quite a solo thing. I think if there's anybody that I would love to, I mean, I know this is not the question you asked, but I'm going to say anyway. If there's anyone that I'd love to support on like a tour or a show or something.
Let's not assume the hosts know what they're talking about. That is a very dangerous assumption. we have no idea.
Not a clue. It's all right. Neither do I. Don't worry about it. If there's anyone that I would love to be in a space with, it is probably someone like Olivia Dean or Georgia Smith or those sorts of artists that I would love to be like supporting or like in the same space as. Joy Crooks is another one. I think she's gorgeous, amazing, beautiful singer, very good vibe. So yeah, that's probably where I'd like to be. I mean, living in Ipswich, it can be a little bit isolating for the whole music making process. So I think I'd love to get more involved with like the London scene, go to more sort of like jam nights and things and meet more artists that way. But yeah, there are some really cool artists from Suffolk. I think the best showcase of those artists is probably, not to plug, but Latitude Festival, which is our home festival. And I mean, there's a stage now dedicated to our artists, so it's great.
Are you playing Latitude Festival?
No, I did a couple of years ago. Now I just go to pretty much just to support and, I mean, bump into like everyone
just the vibes
I've ever known, because everyone's there. Like everyone in Suffolk just goes to Latitude.
So, Nina, before you go, I've got one last question. Obviously, we're on BBC Introducing this year. What stage would you love to perform on in the future? You can say Pyramid if you would like to say Pyramid.
It's got to be the Pyramid. It's got to be the Pyramid stage. It has to be. It's just, you can't top it, can you? It's just so infamous. Yeah, it's got to be. Absolutely got to be.
Yeah, I would love to do Pyramid. Obviously, I'm not an artist or a performer, so I don't know how this would ever happen. But I'd love to be like pop up doing a random secret set with like Basil Brush or something. I think that would be so funny.
Yeah.
Nina, what's actually happening here is she's offering to play the tambourine when you make it to the pyramid.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's getting in early.
Oh my God, please, yeah.
You know, a few years ago when someone was playing the scissors on stage, I'll do that. I'll play the scissors.
I didn't see that. That's incredible. Can you dance? You can be a backup dancer. You can do whatever. Yeah. Dancing.
I don't know. I'll make something work. I'll make something work.
We'll find a way. We'll find a way for there to be a spotlight on you at some point.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay, right. I'll see you on the pyramid stage in like 2 years' time.
Yeah, can't wait.
Nina's a hoot, isn't she?
Nina's great. I cannot believe like how this is her first ever year at Glastonbury and she's playing. Like, that is the dream.
It's incredible. For our listeners, head to BBC Introducing, Sunday 3:30. We'll post a link to her Instagram on our Instagram as well in one of our stories. Give her a follow and give us a follow if you haven't already on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. And find us on TikTok, find us on Instagram. We're all over the place.